Hey, what's up, Steampunk Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, bringing you another card for thought video, Jack Asian list, sadly. Um, we did film this particular card for thought video before, but the video was ruined due to some background noise of a fan. Like, of some air conditioning or whatever. So I'm going to talk about the cards we talked about in the previous recording in hopefully the same fashion. So starting it off, we have number 8, Heraldic King Genome Heritage. It's 2 level 4 Heraldic Beast monsters, and its effect is once per turn you can target one face-up Xyz monster your opponent controls. This card's name, original attack, become that monster's name and original attack. And his card's effect becomes that monster's effect, and that monster's attack becomes 0, and its effects are negated until the end phase. So if you guys did not watch the other video where I play in a tag duel and we kind of get screwed over by this card, but use it to our advantage in the long run, I do suggest you check it out. I will leave a link to it in the description below. So check that out. This card is really good. The problem with it is it takes 2 Heraldic Beast monsters. Now the Heraldic Beasts aren't really much to bark at by themselves, but with this guy, gets rid of opposing Draco Sacks, makes himself a Draco Sack. I do think he's a really good Exceed monster just in general. I have been playing around with Heraldic Beasts and doing that kind of thing, seeing out how he works. He's been testing okay so far, but I only really want to play 2 of him because I only really go into 1. But I just want to have the second one there for maybe an emergency, something like that. So moving on, we've got Senet Switch. This card is starting to see play in various Blue Eyes decks, and as well as Heraldic Blue Eyes decks. You can use this card, target your Blue-Eyed Maiden, get the free Blue Eyes, and then move Maiden a space to her left or a space to her right, whichever one's open. And you can also use this with Heraldic Dragon of Newit, because it targets him as well. You will be able to get a free vanilla for Heraldic Dragon shenanigans. And also, these do stack, so you can have multiples. Like, you can have 2, and you can use 1 to move a Maiden and 1 to move a Newit, or, whatever. So really think about this card. I might be getting a playset later on this week just to hold on to until the Blue Eyes deck's released, so yeah. A card Jack Asian wanted to talk about was Ego Boost. Its effect is when a monster declares an attack, you can target one face-up monster on the field, and it gains 1,000 until the end of the battle phase. So his reasoning for this was that he wants to buff his monsters. He wants to do things to his monsters, make them stronger, make them faster, stuff like that. In opposition to, say, making your opponent's monsters weaker or destroying them or something like that. He wants to, make his monsters bigger than theirs. So I guess that's why he chose Ego Boost. Also, he does play Fire Fist, so I guess Fire Fist Bear, when it attacks, he'll be, and he could be like Ego Boost and make Bear a 2600 or higher, depending on how many Fire Formation cards he has face up. So, Ego Boost, I think he was talking about another card that was like this, but I'm not 100% sure what it was. But yeah, Ego Boost, consider it maybe, I guess, if you play a bunch of damage-based effects, maybe Donzalug, Bear, Gorilla, Gorilla, Bear, Gorilla. So yeah, Ego Boost. Next card, Inferno Tempest. This card's effect is when you take 3,000 or more battle damage from one attack, you can activate this card and banish all monsters in each player's deck and graveyard. So I actually thought about this card. It came as a surprise to me when I was tag dueling on DevPro. I was playing my Blue Eyes deck, and my partner actually attacked with Blue Eyes, and our opponent flipped this, and luckily it banished off my partner's deck, and he wasn't really playing anything good anyway. But I seriously, it gave me something to think about. Like when the Blue Eyes deck is released, and they're attacking for like 3,000 upon 3,000 upon 3,000. You can activate this and then just get rid of all of their Blue Eyes. Make the monsters on their side of the field what they have to use for the next couple rounds. So yeah, that's a very big possibility. I've seen a lot of Blue Eyes decks play a ton of monsters, so this isn't a bad card to think about for that matchup. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be techy. Let me know what you guys think. Last card Jack Asian wanted to talk about, StageUrge. Mega Capital G did a video on this. I do suggest you guys watch it, but in the meantime, it's a continuous trap, and its effect is reduce all the levels of your opponent's monsters by 1. Now, I made the mistake and didn't notice that it was a continuous trap. I thought it was like Mischief of the Yokai. That's the other card Jack Agent wanted to talk about, Mischief of the Yokai. We'll do that in a second. StageUrge, all face-up monsters lose 1 level. So I thought it was just a normal trap, one-hit wonder, but it's not. It's a continuous trap, so it can really throttle your opponent and send them into a spiral to which they can't possibly recover. Because with Vanity's Emptiness, all you have to do is send an opponent's card to the graveyard or from their deck or field to the graveyard, and Vanity's Emptiness goes away, and that won't be that hard for E-Dragons, with Blaster and all that stuff. But this, you get to run 3 of this, and if they Blaster one, all you have to do is flip another one. The only downside to this card is they can still attack with their guys. Not the guys they summon with the babies, but the guys they summon with their effects. So if you can deal with beat sticks, I highly recommend this card. So Mischief of the Yokai. Each face-up monster on the field loses 2 levels until the end phase. And you can remove this card from your graveyard, select one face-up monster and reduce its level by 1 until the end phase, and this card cannot be activated the turn it is sent to the graveyard. So it's basically like StageUrge in breakthrough skill form, except it affects your monsters. It'll decrease all your monsters' level by 2, so it can potentially hurt you as well. But in the long run, if you really don't want to play StageUrge, you can always play this card, and then they would be level 5. And I don't know E-Dragons played rank 5 because they don't. So yeah, this card can also help you select one face of monster and reduce its level by 1, so you can use it on your monsters or their monsters. So yeah, basically a breakthrough skill version of StageUrge. So if you guys have any suggestions for cards you want to talk about, or you want us to talk about on Card for Thought, please hit me up in my inbox or leave a comment in the section below.